Hi, this is Keshav here. Here I'm trying to make a series of videos on complete skills measure for Azure Data Engineer certification. Let's see how it goes. I hope definitely those videos will help people out there who are really looking for that certification. So as you all know that once you complete that certification, you will earn title called Azure Data Engineer Associate along with logo of course. So as part of those series of videos, those I'm planning, I'm just making this initial video just to give the introduction about that certification. Let's see, I just prepared some slides. Let me walk you through. Those slides will definitely will help you out to get some clarification if you have any doubts. Okay, let me walk you through. So the obvious question people might get is it really required to get certified on any cloud computing? Yes, of course. Of course, if you want to make your profile very strong and not to be ignored if you are trying out for any new positions. So it's very important to get certified on any cloud computing. It could be any certification based on your skill set. Just select best fit certification and go for it. So yeah, next question would be who can target for data engineer certification and which certification is best fit for me? You might get that question in your mind if you don't have much idea on Azure certifications. What I would strongly recommend is to get complete clarification on that. I would say please go through that career path, Azure career path given by Microsoft. That will definitely will help you out to pick best fit certification or exam number based on your skill set. So I would strongly recommend please go through that path, find out best fit exam number and go for it. Yeah, that is best option instead of picking a wrong exam and later you can't, it's not that easy to go for multiple certifications. It's expensive as well as you need to spend a lot of effort. So what I would say is try to find out best fit one first in first shot. Okay. Next, what are the different exams I need to take as part of this certification? So I just listed out all the required exams here below. Go through them. The first one is Azure Fundamentals. It's not separate exam. It's a separate certification itself. So Azure Fundamental certification, it's optional, for this certification, but still, what I would strongly recommend is don't ignore the skills measured for Azure Fundamental certification. Those are very important. Those skills will definitely will help you out to get some understanding on Azure fundamentals and some hands-on on Azure portal as well. So even though you are not taking that certification, but I would say don't ignore the skills measure for that. So that will definitely will help you out. So without fundamentals, it will be hard for you to understand and prepare for DP200 and 201 as well. Okay. So next mandatory exam as part of this certification is DP200. You can't ignore this. This is implementing an Azure data solution. This is mandatory one of the mandatory certifications. The next mandatory one is DP201, that is design an Azure data solution. So either of these you can't ignore. So you need to take both if you want to achieve that certification, data engineer certification. If you ignore any of these, right, for example, you completed only DP200 but not 201. So what you can earn with that, just you can earn only scorecard. You can't earn certification. So that's what prepare for both and give both exams to complete the certification. Okay. Next question would be what is the duration and cost involved for that? So duration for Azure Fundamentals is 85 minutes and cost involved is 99 USD. And duration for DP200 180 minutes and cost 165 USD. There is 30 minutes extra. That 30 minutes is mainly to go through some additional content given by Microsoft. And also if you want to give a feedback to every question those you faced as part of your exam, if you want to give feedback, of course you can. So don't be confused that 30 minutes is not part of your real exam duration. Okay, you can't use that 30 minutes for your to answer your real exam questions. Okay, in the same way for DP201 also the duration is same like DP200, 180 minutes, and cost is 165 USD. And there is a link given below. Just through that link you can go ahead and you can book a certification if you want. Okay, next, what are the skills measured for AZ900 certification? Yeah, so below our high level skills measured, I just given high level skills measured for Azure fundamentals, and there is a link also given below if you want to see detailed skills measured for that certification. And next, what are the skills measured for DP200? So here again I given high level skills measured for DP200 as well. So the first section is implement data storage solutions. You will get mostly like 40 to 45% of the questions from storage only. So you have to be very careful. You have to understand storage very well. And next section is manage and develop data processing. You will get 25 to 30% of the questions from this section. The last section is monitor and optimize data solutions. You will get 30 to 35% of the questions from this area. So these are just high level skills measured along with respect to weightage. And if you want to see detailed level, there is a link given below. Please go through that. And these are the skills measured for DP201. If you see that skills, right, you would feel like almost same like DP200. Of course, yeah, you are right. So the skills measured for DP200 and 201 almost same. So that's what I would say strongly is when you are preparing for DP200 and if you have other doubt like which exam I should go for first. So what I was, yeah, you might get other question in your mind like which exam should I take first? Yeah, so I would strongly recommend take first DP200, then go for DP201. And also while preparing for DP200, prepare all the content very deeply in the sense you need to prepare in such a way that you need to cover implementation as well as design while preparing for DP200 itself. So if you prepare like that, once you are done with the DP200, you don't need to spend much time for DP201. Just with maybe couple of days gap, you can go and directly give that exam. So that's what I would strongly recommend. Please go through each and every topic in the content and go to the subject. Go deep into the subject so that it will definitely help you out. So again, there is a link given if you want to see complete detail level skills measured. Yeah. So next question is what is a pattern? What is a pattern for DP200? So pattern is like below. So there will be mainly three sections. First section would have scenario based questions. There will be scenario given. Based on that scenario, there will be questions asked. For those questions, your answer would be either yes or no. So likewise, you might get 2 to 3 scenarios and almost 9 to 12 questions. So it's completely depends. Okay, and other thing that you need to be very careful here is once you answer any question and gone to next question, that's it. You can't go back to the previous question. If you want to change the answer also, you can't go back. So you have to be very careful. You can't set any question for review. Okay. And next section, it has got all MCQs, multiple choice questions. These multiple choice questions will have single answered questions and multi-answered questions, and there will be few questions like drag and drop in the sequence in the order. So this part is tricky part here in MCQs, where you see that drag and drop questions with order, right? There it would be like there will be multiple answers for those questions. What you need to do, you need to drag and drop all those answers into your answering area, but that should be in the sequence. So why I said it's a tricky part is, even though you know all the answers, if you miss the sequence, that's it, it's gone. So you have to be very careful. All the answers you need to give in the sequence. Okay, that we'll see in further videos. If such scenarios, I'll try to cover. Okay. And these questions can be these questions you can put them for review. If you want to change the answer later, of course you can go back and you can change the answer. What I would say is, if you have any doubt on any specific question, and if you have complete doubt on the answer, so what I would say is, time being, just select some answer and set them for review. Later, once you are done with all your questions, go back and think a little bit if you have time. That's it, second section. And third section, it could be either lab or case studies. So sometimes people might get lab, sometimes people might get case studies in place of lab. So you have to be very careful. You should be prepared for both lab as well as case studies. If you are getting a lab, it would be like there will be virtual machine given. So you need to log in into that virtual machine with given ID and password. Inside that virtual machine, you will see tasks given. So there will be 10 to 12 tasks, and also Azure portal will be provided for you. So what you need to do, you need to complete all the tasks. I mean, what are the tasks? You need to complete by using your portal, and once you are done with the task, you need to mark as completed. So if you don't mark as completed, even though you answer, never know, it will be ignored, I guess. Okay, be very careful. And in place of lab, as I said, you might get case studies. If you are not getting lab, there could be case studies. So if you are getting case studies, you have to go through complete case study. You need to understand that you should go through technical requirement and business requirement very carefully, and there will be MCQs given, multiple choice questions. You need to answer them. Of course, you can set them for review. This is one best thing. Okay, these are the different sections and different types of questions you might get in DP200. Next, DP201. If you see that exam pattern, also it would be almost same like DP200. There are minor differences. The main difference is, of course, scenario based questions. The first section would be almost same like your DP200. The number of questions you are getting here and there could be different in section 1. And MCQs, again, it will be almost same like your DP200, but the one best thing here is your drag and drop questions might be there, but drag and drop questions in order. I mean, drag and drop questions with answering dragging and dropping all the answers in the sequence. Those type of questions would be very rare. You might get one or none. Okay, that is one best thing, because that area is little tricky as per my understanding, because even though you know the answer, you have to answer them in sequence. Okay, so this of course can set them for review. Next section, in DP200, in third section you might get either lab or case studies, but in DP201 you never get lab. For sure you never get lab, you will always get only case studies with MCQs as usual, same like DP200. So you can put them for review as well. That's it. This is the pattern of DP201. So that's it. As part of the introduction I covered these slides, and you might get other question like how many total questions might be there for each exam. So the total number of questions are optional. I mean, total number of questions are depends. There is no fixed number. You might get any number between 40 and 60. Okay. And the next question is what is the pass mark? Yeah, pass mark is 700. You need to get 700 out of 1000. If you don't get that, of course it's gone. That's it. Okay, so this is something, as part of this introduction video I wanted to cover. I hope some basic queries, if you have, this video definitely will give some clarification. So let's see, as part of that series of videos, I'll just target the first skills measure for DP200, and I'll try to pick the first section called Azure Data Storage. Let's see. Please do like my videos and subscribe to get all the series of videos those I'm trying to make. Thanks a lot. See you later in the next video. Bye bye.